Hey guys, 'tis I. So, a conversation has been started. Some of you may recall that a little while ago I reported on a video and did a video response to someone called Griffin Gaming. And yeah, that video seems to have been seen by a few people, thankfully. Disregarding YouTube's algorithms. Somebody actually saw my video. Anyway. So, a YouTuber by the name of Artificial Toaster video responded to me on my video response. See the layers of the onion. And the gentleman in question made some very good points. I would like to, go over those points. Basically, one thing you missed, Mr. Toaster, is I wasn't saying that I agree with Sony's position or Microsoft's position on making users pay for online abilities. What I said was, I see what Sony would say in that position. Sony have said that this is why they do X, Y, and Z. I don't actually necessarily agree with them doing it. I don't agree with the idea that that we have to pay for these games that aren't free. In fact, I agree with you wholeheartedly that we're not really paying for games that we get to own. We're paying to rent the games, because as anyone knows, or at least a lot of people know, I'm sure, who've read the terms and conditions of PlayStation Plus at least. I don't know about Games of Gold in this instance, so if you need to correct me in the comment section below, please do so. When you have a game on PlayStation Plus, you only have access to that game while you're a member of Plus. If you allow your subscription to lapse, you don't have access to that game. For instance, I could download a game on PlayStation Plus, enjoy it a lot, or not enjoy it, or whatever, and then delete it from my PlayStation. And then maybe I play it several months down the line at a friend's house and go, hang on, that was actually quite good, I should re-download this. However, if I've allowed my PlayStation Plus subscription to come to an end and I've discontinued paying it, then I no longer am able to download that game. It is locked behind the paywall of having a current and running PlayStation Plus subscription. So your point about renting a games is 100% spot on in that regard, and I agree with you wholeheartedly. The only part of pretty much everything you said was the idea that I agree with any notion of it. I don't agree with any notion of it. And the idea that you posited, notion that you posited, of if you go to a restaurant and you buy a burger and the burger arrives and then you have to send it back and pay more money for the burger to be cooked in the middle. Yeah, it's not the best analogy, but it's true. You're absolutely right, Mr. Toaster. Yeah, there's not really a lot more I could say. You covered a lot of very true and very salient points. Once you've bought a machine, that is your machine. You can do it as you will. Once you've bought a game, you should be able to do with it as you will. What we have when it comes to digital games is obviously different. As digital games, you're buying a license to play a piece of software. You may have it downloaded on your system, but that game can disappear if the rights owners decide that you no longer have that access to that game. I would draw your attention to PT. Itself was only a demo. However, it was the case that if you had PT and you decided to delete it from your system, you would no longer have PT. Now, PT had nothing to do with PlayStation Plus, but it was a free demo that you could download that was Hideo Kojima's ideas as what he was going to do with the next Silent Hill before the whole debacle with Konami. Where it gets interesting is when my original launch model PlayStation bit the dust a couple of years ago. I obviously replaced it with another PlayStation. I'm doing this video, that's how you know, because I use Share Factory to make my videos. When upon coming to re-upload all my stuff, which took forever, I tried to re-upload PT. Then find out that once PT is gone, it's gone. Because Konami owned the rights to the software, you can't have it. That's where you get lucky, at least with disc-based games. When you have a game on disc, you have the game. That's it. But then again, there's another interesting little caveat. I should draw your attention to back in the last generation. On PS3, I had Burnout Paradise, which is the reason why I bought Burnout Paradise on PlayStation 4, because it was a ton of fun and I chuffing loved it. There was a feature available on the game a few months into owning it where they would allow you to create your own playlist. You could load tracks onto the hard drive of your PS3 and then you could have that playlist of tracks that you loaded actually come up in your game. A bit like how you do now with your modern version of Burnout, but with Spotify. And that was great for a couple of months. I was racing around with music of my own choosing and not using the music of the game, which you get really bored with after a while. And so you're like, yeah, having a good time, racing with my music, and then all of a sudden, they did another update, and that ability went away. So, you could even own a game on disc, but because so many of the things that come on the disc are linked to things that happen online, you could sometimes lose functionality. And it just gets a headache after a while. How much of games do you really own? And then when it's an online game, once the servers close, all you have is a beer mat. It's food for thought, innit? Which is all food for thought that was delivered to my plate by Mr. Toaster. And of course, from my plate to my brain to my mouth to you. So, in summation, if you haven't seen it yet, then I will put the link to all 3 videos in the description. The link to the original video that I responded to, the response video that I did, and of course Artificial Toaster's video. And if you have anything else out there in YouTube land to add, you can do like Mr. Toaster did. Make a video and go, right Zenblock, here's what I think. And I will quite happily watch it and possibly even respond to it. Hell, I responded to the other one. Okay guys, so you know the drill. Rate, favourite, comment, share and subscribe. And of course, as always, aye, nae bother.